Good morning, Montana. I'm Jason Hurst. As you pour your coffee and make breakfast, let's get you informed as you take on your Thursday. Coming up over the next half hour, Bozeman officials agreed to make updates to the city's affordable housing ordinance, the changes they plan to execute and what it means for the city. Plus a debate in Helena over an unemployment insurance bill, a breakdown of what the bill calls for and what both sides are saying, and an up-close look at President Biden's farewell address from the Oval Office, his warnings for the future.
Well, the time is 6:30, so it's a check of live cameras and temperatures. 17 Kalispell, 13 Missoula, 8 right now in Butte. Bozeman sitting at 7. Now, notice Kalispell and Missoula, we have some localized fog that is out there this morning. Also some fog in the mining city. Visibility right around a mile for you. Butte. Maybe if you're heading north, Boulder Hill, Elk Park Pass could have some localized dense fog. In and around Kalispell, less than a quarter-mile visibility, half-a-mile visibility in the Missoula, Mission Valley, extending into the lower Clark Fork region. So heading west on 200, you're going to run into some of that dense fog as well. We'll mix the fog out and the colder air as well. Temperatures upper 30s and low 40s once we get into that 2 to 5 o'clock hour. Bozeman, you'll be at 40 degrees at 2 p.m. Once we make our way into the weekend, though, Arctic air is going to settle in. I'll tell you how long it's going to last with a look at our 10-day forecast in the morning sprint.
We begin with new information on Bozeman's affordable housing ordinance. The city's Community Development Board took a look at suggested revisions. NBC Montana's Brianna Carroll explains what it means for the city.
On Monday, Bozeman's Community Development Board considered updates to the city's affordable housing ordinance. Passing a motion 5-2, the board recommended the changes as presented by city staff for final approval. Board member Chris Agnes and Commissioner Jennifer Magic were in dissent.
I really have a problem with the one-size-fits-all nature of this.
Major updates to the affordable housing ordinance include reducing building height and parking incentives, extending the amount of time units are held affordable from 30 to 50 years, and lowering the affordability threshold so units must be priced affordably for individuals making 60% of area median income, down from 80%. Even with the changes, some residents say the ordinance is flawed.
It states affordable dwellings must be constructed with the same features, such as appliances, as market rate dwellings within the same development, but the quality of the features may vary between the market rate and the affordable dwellings. This will undoubtedly result in cheaper and poorer quality affordable units.
Other issues residents raised include concerns that units priced at 60% AMI are still not affordable for many residents. Allowing developers to donate land instead of building affordable units will not increase affordable housing, a need for more review of adverse effects of potential projects on neighborhoods, and opposition to parking and height incentives. Economic Development Director David Fine said changes to the ordinance reflect what city staff is hearing from the community. And affordable housing is a tricky issue, as the best way to test different policies is to try them in a real-world setting.
You're making important decisions about the future of the community, and the room is not packed, right? People often only notice these things when a project comes forward and it gets tried out in the real world.
Bozeman City Commissioners are set to make a final decision on the future of the city's affordable housing ordinance later this month. Reporting in Bozeman, Brianna Carroll, NBC Montana.
New in Helena, a big debate over a bill that trims 4 weeks off unemployment insurance. House Bill 131, sponsored by State Rep. Carrie Seekins-Crow, would cut the maximum duration of unemployment insurance benefits from 24 weeks down to 20 weeks. This comes after the 2023 legislature, I think I'm going to sneeze, passed a bill cutting benefits from 28 weeks down to 24 weeks. Now, Seekins-Crow and a handful of proponents say it would incentivize people to rejoin the workforce. However, opponents of the bill say it harms low-income Montanans and those who can't work construction jobs in the winter, and say it could also lead to them to leaving the state.
There are 2 job openings for every one unemployed person in the state. As businesses struggle to find employees and our state continues to invest in public-private training opportunities, there's never been a better time for job seekers.
A few additional weeks of unemployment benefits could mean the difference between a family being able to afford another month of rent or a mortgage payment or paying their utility bills. Providing a suitable benefit duration period enables workers to find equivalent work.
According to Seekins Crow, Montana's unemployment benefits amount to $445 a week on average. So that's $445 a week on average. Now, no action was taken on the bill after Wednesday's first hearing. However, if it becomes a law, it would apply to unemployment insurance claims filed on or after July 1st of this year. Also in Helena, lawmakers vote on a controversial bill that restricts bathroom access for the transgender community. House Bill 121 made it through a second reading Wednesday on the House floor on a party line vote of 58 to 42. Introduced by 35 Republicans, the bill would bar transgender women from using women's restrooms, changing rooms, and sleeping quarters. It applies to correctional facilities, shelters, and safe homes, public buildings, and schools. It would also apply to transgender men in male spaces. The bill defines males and females based on biology and genetics and was the subject of an intense debate on the floor. Proponents argue it protects cisgender women's safety and privacy. Opponents call it a direct and legally dubious attack on the transgender community.
Women and children deserve to have their privacy and dignity safeguarded in vulnerable spaces. Their right to privacy should not depend on others' beliefs about gender.
To me, this bill clearly targets trans people. It is laid out to make it harder for trans Montanans to exist peacefully in public life.
Under the proposed law, individuals who encounter someone violating the law can pursue civil legal action. The bill will go through a third reading before moving to the Senate. In a farewell address from the Oval Office, President Joe Biden looked to shape his legacy and defend his record, offering a mix of hope and warnings about potential threats in the future. NBC's Chris Pallone has the latest from Washington.
I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern.
In his farewell address to the nation, President Biden with a warning about what he sees as a looming threat.
That's the dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people.
By the military.
Reminiscent of Dwight Eisenhower's farewell 60 years ago when that outgoing president warned of the emerging military-industrial complex. Biden striking a similar tone about the ultra-wealthy, as tech billionaires like Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg have flocked to President-elect Trump's side after his election win.
Today, an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy.
Biden also warning about what he calls the tech industrial complex.
Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. Social media is giving up on fact-checking. The truth is smothered by lies told for power and for profit.
The farewell came hours after what might be one of his crowning foreign policy achievements, announcing a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
This plan was developed and negotiated by my team and will be largely implemented by the incoming administration.
Biden leaves office with extremely low approval ratings, but believes history will judge his legacy kindly.
It will take time to feel the full impact of all we've done together.
For all the warnings, Biden ended on an optimistic note, emphasizing his belief that the nation will endure.
Now it's your turn to stand guard. May you all be the keeper of the flame. May you keep the faith. I love America. You love it too.
Some of President Joe Biden's final words in a public service career spanning more than 5 decades. Chris Pallone, NBC News, Washington.
And as I try to fight off my rapid-fire sneeze attacks of 8 sneezes in a row or whatever the case may be, let's toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Brooke Foster, who is standing by. And Brooke, it's 6:40 or about that time. That means one thing.
Bus stop forecast.
That's right.
I didn't mean to cut you off there, but temperature this morning around western Montana, we are in the teens and 20s. Kiddos are going to have to bundle up. I remind them that with that localized dense fog, there could be some frost on sidewalks, roadways, crosswalks. Could be a bit slick. Visibility is definitely reduced. You can clearly see that on our weather cameras. Out the door this morning, 25 at around 7 a.m. in Kalispell, almost 30 by lunchtime. We'll get you into the mid-30s as we head into the afternoon. Some of that colder air is going to stay a bit trapped for us. Now, in the Missoula area, we could see some of that colder air mix out, allowing for temperatures to make their way into the upper 30s and low 40s. But it's going to be chilly for you this morning, 17 degrees at around 7 a.m., 28 by around lunchtime. Our next weather maker brings snow tonight, then Arctic cold for the weekend. Details in 10 minutes.
Coming up, a healthy diet of local news. Find out why the Whitefish School District Food Service Department is honored. Plus, the Belgrade Police Department is tracking DUI and traffic stops. What do the numbers tell us? Here is a live look from our Hellgate Plumbing weather camera above TV Mountain at Snowbowl, looking down into the Missoula Valley. Chief Meteorologist Brooke Foster has your day planner right after the break.
When it comes to winter weather,